welcome back to Marvel Rivals. Today we'll cover the very late holiday special for 2025. This is Unforgettable Holiday. Slow down, Tippy-Toe, Squirrel Girl said to her furry companion. I may have all the powers of a squirrel, but doesn't mean my legs move as quick as yours. Besides, what's such a big deal that it couldn't wait? Wait, what happened here? Squirrel Girl stared in disbelief as she entered the Avengers gift shop on Times Square. She had been working around the clock between battles to get the venue decorated for a huge holiday party scheduled for that night. She had only stepped out for a few minutes to grab some roasted nuts from a shop vendor, but when she flung the doors open, she saw her worst nightmare. Well, her second worst nightmare, after the one where Dr. Doom disintegrates all the world's acorns. The Christmas tree and all the presents she had placed under it were missing. Squirrel Girl sat on the ground and put her head in her hands, feeling utterly defeated. This was not the Christmas Eve she'd planned, not even close. But there was nothing she could do now. Or was there? Tippy-Toe reminded her that there were two other familiar faces in the gift shop earlier. Bucky Barnes and Matt Murdock. Maybe they knew what had happened. As Squirrel Girl raced through the city in search of her friends, her fellow New Yorkers couldn't help but smile. After all, her adorable outfit captured the true spirit of holidays perfectly. With furry boots, warm mittens, golden antlers, and a Christmas bell that jingled all the way as she bounded down the street. When she finally found her friends, she saw that they were ready for the party as well. Bucky wore a superheroic Santa suit and his bionic arm was wrapped in a string of Christmas lights. It gave a whole new meaning to the name Winter Soldier. Meanwhile, Matt Murdock opted for a slightly more casual option, donning a personalized holiday sweater that still managed to make a bold statement, even if it wasn't a fashion statement. "Did you guys see what happened to my tree?" Squirrel Girl inquired. "Sorry, didn't see a thing," Matt gestured, pointed at his sunglasses. But there was someone else in the gift shop. I could hear their heartbeat, and it was thumping fast. "Star-Lord!" Squirrel Girl shouted. "He was looking around the shop while I was decorating, but he wasn't buying anything. I don't know what he was up to, but it made my fur stand on end." "Quill has the same effect on me," Bucky said with a chuckle, but Squirrel Girl was already ridden off to track down her next suspect. When she reached the Guardians of the Galaxy's spacecraft, the Molino, parked on top of Avengers Tower, she called into the open bay door to get Star-Lord's attention. But she never could have anticipated what she saw when he exited the ship. Star-Lord was decked out from head to toe in an elaborate costume that made him look like a Christmas nutcracker. From his mustachioed mask to his red and green coat, he looked like a storybook character come to life. "Too much, right?" Star-Lord sighed as he gave a quick twirl. "Knew it. I didn't want anyone to see me buy it, so I left some credits on the counter after everyone left. I just never get to spend Christmas back here on Earth anymore, and I thought maybe." "From one nutcracker to another," Squirrel Girl responded. "It's perfect, I promise. But what's not perfect is my party. My tree is missing, and so are the presents." "You might want to find Cloak and Dagger," Star-Lord suggested. "They were headed into the shop when I was sneaking out." Tippy-Toe said that some of her rodent friends had recently reported seeing Cloak and Dagger skating in Rockefeller Center. Once again, Squirrel Girl scampered off. When she arrived, she paused for a moment to watch in awe as the two heroes gracefully glided across the ice. Tyrone had traded his usual jet-black coat for a stunning white and blue cape that flowed around him like a gentle winter breeze. Tandy's costume was perfectly paired with her partner's, making her look like a true ice princess. Above them, the legendary Rockefeller tree sparkled in all its glory, making the whole scene look like something out of a storybook. Squirrel Girl couldn't help but let out a wistful sigh. "That's some tree," she said quietly. "Mine never stood a chance." Then, remembering why she was there, she waved down the skaters. "Hey guys, did you see what happened to my tree at the shop?" "Sorry, but I didn't see what happened to your tree," Cloak said. "I've been more focused on staying on my feet." "It was still there when we left," Dagger added. "Right next to that weird snowman." "Snowman?" Well, Squirrel Girl repeated. "I didn't put up a snowman." Cloak and Dagger joined Squirrel Girl as they raced back towards the shop. Along the way, they saw a strange snow-covered creature standing on the street corner. "That's the one!" Dagger exclaimed. Squirrel Girl rushed over and quickly realized who she was looking at. It was no snowman, it was a snow spider. Or more accurately, a snow spider. It may have been coated in a thick layer of snow, but there was no mistaking everyone's favourite mechanical marvel. Especially when Penny Parker popped out of its hatch in a festive holiday dress. By the way, Penny looks absolutely cute as in that outfit. If I wasn't stingy with my credits, I probably would have acquired it myself. Konnichiwa, Penny said, happy to see her friends. I'm so glad you're here. I was worried no one would get to see Spider's costume before it melted. This thing is a total nightmare to keep frozen. I can probably help with that, Squirrel Girl sighed. Guess my trail has gone completely cold. Chi-Chi used to tell me, if you can't find the ending, go back to the beginning, Penny said. Maybe you're right, Squirrel Girl said, leading her friends back towards Times Square. As she opened the door to the Avengers gift shop once again, Squirrel Girl let out a high-pitched squeal as all the lights suddenly came on. There, in the centre of the room, was her tree blazing bright. It was surrounded by twice as many presents as there had been before. And even better, all her friends were there too. This was all Tippy-Toe's idea, Bucky admitted. She pointed out to us how hard you'd been working to decorate for the big party. Once we realised how long you'd been cooped up inside, we decided to hide the tree and the presents to lure you out. You got some much needed fresh air, Star-Lord added, and hopefully one heck of a story. Her friends may have sent her on a wild squirrel chase, but Squirrel Girl could see that it was all for the right reasons. That's some tree, she whispered. Only this time, she was looking at her own tree, and it was surrounded by something far more valuable than sparkling lights. Her friends. The tears came quietly, just as the Christmas bells began to ring softly outside, marking a holiday she would never forget. Merry Christmas, everyone. As belated as it is.